Hello everyone, welcome along to round 2 of the LB Racing Series. We are here tonight at the Red Bull Ring, as you can see on your screens there. Welcome back for round 2, action-packed race to bring you tonight. Again, 30-minute race with a 5-minute qualifier that we will show you the results of in a moment. So, weather's looking pretty clear here tonight at the Red Bull Ring. Nice and sunny. But let's go back and have a look at that championship table after round 1 last week at the Nürburgring. If you haven't watched it already, the video is out on the channel, so you can go back and check that one out. But let's have a look at that table. So you can see here from round 1 the results. So LBR Lewis in the lead with the fastest lap as well. That's why the result is in purple for him. Gavsky second. And then you've got Mike there in third, Sprinkler fourth, GK fifth, Upper Million in sixth, Mario seventh, Johnny Tattoo in eighth, Voldy there in ninth, Fatman in 10th, and Drew there in 11th. So fantastic to get 11 drivers out on track for round 1. We do actually have more tonight. We've got 12 tonight, so fantastic result there. Tyre strategy for tonight we believe will be the same as before, so if you haven't heard already, got to use the soft and the hard tyre. Both of them are mandatory. Reckon the softs will last about 10 minutes and the hards 20, so you do have the soft and then onto the hard, or hards and then onto the softs. The strategy is entirely up to the driver on what they want to do, and they can change from the tyre that they use in qualifying. Now, with the results of the driver of the day vote that we had for round 1, so that has gone to LBR Lewis, coming from 5th to the win. Congratulations to him. Let's get into the qualifying. So Corky there in 12th position with Fatman there in 11th. Then we have Drew qualifying in 10th spot. Johnny there in 9th. Mario qualifying there in 8th position for Mario. 7th for De Young, so first race there for De Young tonight. Mike there in 6th with Sprinkler in 5th. And then we have Gavsky there in 4th with then Froxy Dev taking third, first race here for Froxy Dev, and Gia Kayla in 2nd, and LBR Lewis, the driver of the day from round 1 and race 1 from round 1, taking it on pole. Let's get into the action. Hello there, right, welcome along to round 2 of the LB Racing Series. The cars are lining up and getting ready to start on the rolling start, and away we go. We've got a green flag here at the Red Bull Ring. So great gap there from LBR Lewis into the first corner. Kayla running wide there in the background, losing out to Froxy Dev. That's more than likely probably going to be a penalty there for Kayla as it pops up on the screen. Yep, a penalty for Kayla as Gavsky goes past as well. So Gavsky moving up into 3rd. Sprinkler there in 5th. Can they all make it round the infamous turn 3? Oh, Sprinkler getting very sideways on the curb. The holders go. Oh, we got Mike going round there in the background. Let's have a look at what happened there to Mike. So Mike coming up into the 3rd corner. Getting down there, just getting on the curb, getting the power down, and all keeps it together on the track and doesn't collide with anyone. So a great save there from Mike for dropping down some positions. So unfortunate there from Mike. Getting the power down a bit much and losing the rear end and dropping back the order. So De Young up into 6th, Mario in 7th, Mike dropping to 8th. Oh, bit of a coming together there from everyone. Let's have a look at that as well to see what happened there. So it looks like it was Johnny coming down into the corner, moves out, collects with the back of Mike, who then slows down and then gets bumped in the back from old Git. So it doesn't look like it was just coming together. Loads of cars there. Johnny does back off and moves back. Yeah, it looks like a bit of carnage down there into turn 4. Replays galore going on here. So unfortunately, a few coming together. Mike getting a little bit sideways, and then people just into the back of each other. But everyone seems to be okay and away. Gia Kayla there in 9th, half-second penalty for Gia Kayla. Old Git there in 10th. Johnny 11th. And Forky there in 12th. back to the leader. Oh, LBR Lewis has a penalty, a 1 second penalty as well. Let's see what happened there. So the penalty was awarded here. Came off the top corner, just got a little bit wide on the exit, and yeah, a little bit of abusing track limits there to get the 1 second penalty. So just running a tiny bit wide. It's a bit harsh, I think, to be honest. A bit wide there in the infield corner, and picking up that 1 second penalty. Nice little lead there, but obviously that lead will reduce once the penalty is served. So Froxy Dev in second. These two drivers on the soft tyres. So these guys are pulling out a bit of a gap to Sprinkler behind, who's on the hard tyre, followed by D Young, who's on the soft. Half-second penalty there for D Young. Gavsky there in fifth is on the hard tyre. We've got a mixture of strategies going on here today. Mario there in sixth. Half-second penalty for Mario. Mario on the hard tyre. Drew there in seventh on the soft tyre. And we've got Mike in eighth on the hard tyre. Kayla in ninth. Johnny there in 10th. I'll get there in 11th. There's a cameraman has to try and catch up with what we're saying to him then. So I'll get there in 11th. Corky there in 12th. So after LBR Lewis has served that penalty, he's now got Froxy right behind, and maybe a little bit wide there in turn one. Is that going to be a penalty? Another half-second penalty. So looks like Froxy's going for the lead, trying to go around the outside. But they make it round, and away they go back on the downhill section. So Froxy pushing on hard now in that second spot. Still got the cork in the bottle Sprinkler on the hard tyres. He was a gaggle of cars behind. The drivers on the soft tyres really need to get past. But it seems to be Gav and Sprinkler here on the hards. It seems to be just a cork in the bottle holding everyone up. Gavsky there in fourth. De Young in fifth on the softs, and then Drill on the softs. Mario there in seventh on the hard. So Mario keeping up with the soft drivers in front, purely because look at the cork in the bottle there in front. That was close action, as we do have a change for the lead. We will go and have a look at what has happened out the front of the field. So yeah, exactly as before, LBR Lewis serves the half-second penalty, and Froxy Dev slots through to take the lead of the race. So Kayla there in 8th, Mike in 9th, Johnny in 10th, I'll get in 11th, and Corky there in 12th position. So back to the leaders. Let's see what's going on from the race. These guys have got a lead and a half between them at the moment. Obviously on the soft, so they've managed to just get away from the rest of the pack. But doing a fantastic job. Froxy Dev in the lead of the race, taking it from LBR Lewis, as we saw just a moment ago. Under that penalty, LBR Lewis fighting it back. It's right under the rear of Froxy Dev. These two are pushing on hard. Just got to make sure they keep it clean and keep it on the road. They should be able to push on and keep on increasing their gap. Fastest lap of the race so far is done by Froxy Dev by 1 minute 31.031. You can see that on your screen. Stick with these two for a second to see what's going on between them. They are pushing hard. go and have a look what's happening in third place. Sprinkler still holding on to that third place on the hard tyres. 6 minutes of action-packed racing so far between these guys. This gang of cars has been stuck together like glue. So the Red Bull car at the Red Bull ring doing a fantastic job keeping hold of that third place on the hard tyres. Gavsky there in a fantastic homage livery to the old McLaren. As we do have a change for the lead in the front, so let's see what's happened there between Froxy Dev and LVR Lewis. Froxy Dev dropping a fair distance back. So Froxy Dev into turn 3 gets the car slowed down well, and then just runs a little bit wide on the exit curb, spins on the rear wheels around and into the barrier, and that has cost him dearly. So Froxy Dev just getting on the curb there and falls in a little bit of a half spin and into the barrier with a bit of damage. So unfortunately for Froxy Dev, but does keep hold of second place. As we've still got the battle between everyone a bit further back. De Jong getting a bit side, a little bit of glitching going on there from De Jong, bit jumping across the track. Drew there in 6th, keeping on to the back of all these cars. Mario there in 7th. Now Mario has got GT7 for company. Fantastic company. GT7 pushing on there in 8th. Mike in 9th. Still on the hard tyre. Covering well from that earlier on incident. Managed to get a podium in round 1 in the Nürburgring. Johnny in 10th. I'll get that in 11th, and Corky in 12th. So LVR Lewis out there in front. Quite a gap now after Froxy Dev having the half spinning into the barrier that we saw earlier on. So just got to utilise these soft tyres as much as possible now and push on. Obviously tyre wear, we are approaching the 10-minute mark, so we're approaching that point where we think the tyres will start to go off. As we said in the intro, expecting normal racing strategy would be 10 minutes on the softs, 20 minutes on the hards. Now it depends on the track conditions and everything. People may be able to extend the softs a little bit. We'll see in this race if any of the drivers are going to extend past that 10-minute mark. But you'd expect to see this leader in at the end of the next lap. At the moment the tyres seem to be holding together. See what the lap time is on that lap there. 1 minute 32.030. So around average lap times that LVR Lewis has been doing. The fastest 1 minute 31.392. So only 7 tenths off their fastest lap. So softs seem to be holding together well. Froxy Dev there in 2nd, half-second penalty there for Froxy Dev. Sprinkler in 3rd, with De Jong in 4th, Mario 5th, Drew in 6th, GT7 7th, Mike in 8th, Johnny in 9th. Gav has dropped down to 10th place. Let's have a look and see what happens to Gavsky. So as they approach turn 3, it's Gavsky in front position there, Sprinkler behind. They just come into the braking zone. It looks like De Jong just knocks Sprinkler a bit. Sprinkler then taps Gav, spins Gav round, and then Gav is facing the wrong way. Tries to get going again, but just can't get the turn angle on, and into the barrier for Gav. So it's all gone wrong there for Gavsky. Let's see if he can recover. Some unfortunate incident there for Gav. Kind of getting spun around. I think that was mainly due down to glitching. So unfortunate incident there for Gav. Dropped Gavsky down to 10th, was running fantastically well on the hard tyre. And now down in 10th, so a recovery drive now for Gav. We'll keep an eye on him throughout the race and see where he can get back up to. Old Git there in 11th, And Corky there in 12th. Corky going round, just managed to catch someone on camera. Puts it into reverse and gets going again. So half spin there from Corky, manages to get the car back underway. So LBR Lewis hasn't come into the pits, it's going around for another lap, but very slow lap, at 1 minute 36.890. Let's have a look and see what happened on that last lap. So approaching turn number 4, coming into the braking zone, just brakes on the curb and a bit late and straight on into the gravel. Don't bog the car down, get the car moving, get out of there and back on the track and away, getting away with that one in the lead of the race. So yeah, just outbraked himself into the 4th corner at the bottom of the hill and lost a shed load of time, but still keeping the lead. So the tyres definitely starting to go off. Who's going to be the first to blink and go into the pits? So, Oyola still in the lead of the race. Froxy in 2nd, still got a bit of a gap. Sprinkler still in 3rd, holding up its Gagler cars at 12 minutes now on the hard tyre. Doing a fantastic job holding up the field for so long. As they all come around into section. Just managing to keep the lead. De Young having a look up the inside, tucks back in, thinking a bit better off, but it's glitched all over the place. Seems to knock Sprinkler into the back of Sprinkler there. Let's hope the Sprinkler doesn't get a penalty for that. No, Sprinkler doesn't get a penalty for that. So we do have the first pit stop, which seems to be Drew. We'll get to Drew in a second. So we've got Mario in 4th, Mario now in 3rd, Mario in 4th, and De Young there going very wide, and round De Young goes. So De Young dropping down into 7th. Johnny there in 8th, Gavsky in 9th now. Drew in the pits, getting the tyres changed for Drew. And away Drew goes and out the pits. That's Drew out and underway. Drew coming out in 10th. Old Git there in 11th. Half-second penalty for Old Git, and straight on goes Old Git there. Manages to get back on track and underway. Corky there in what is now 11th, because it looks like Old Git has decided to retire the car. I don't know whether that may have been a technical issue, as it did seem to go straight on into turn 1. So Corky now up into 11th. Will we see the leader pit on this lap? No, we will not. Going round for a 10th lap. Last lap was still in the 1 minute 32. This one again in a 1 minute 32.7. So the tyres are slowly starting to go off now. As we do have Froxy Dev coming into the pits behind. So dropping down the order is Froxy Dev. We should see Froxy Dev appear at the pit box any second now. It's a long pit lane here. As we get Froxy Dev coming in, pit crew get underway, getting the tyres changed. No fuel, it's don't need to refuel during the race. And Froxy Dev has now been released. So Froxy onto the hard tyres. 3-second penalty for Froxy Dev. So Froxy Dev appears to have cut the pit entry line. The stewards are being hard today with these penalties. So Froxy Dev in 9th with a 3-second penalty. Drew there in 10th has pitted. And Corky there in 11th with that half-second penalty. So There is the leader coming round. Now, will we see the leader come in? It's now halfway into this race, so 5 minutes longer than what we thought the tyres would do. Surely it's got to be pit stop time now. As yes, we do see LBR Lewis coming into the pits. So Mario, who is on the hard tyres, will become the de facto race leader. Yep, as Mario is not coming in. Mike there in the background in third now. Sprinkler in fourth coming into the pits. Kayla in fifth. De Young sixth coming into the pits. Johnny in seventh. Gavsky in eighth. Gavsky now moving up into sixth place. Sprinkler in the pit lane, coming up and getting the stop done. So Sprinkler will be moving on to the soft tyre for 14 minutes of the race. Pit crew get underway and away they go. We know what the Red Bull pit crews can be like, nice and quick. So Sprinkler there coming out in 8th place, just in front of Drew, who done the earlier stop. So just managing to get out in front of Drew. That is crucial to Sprinkler's race here, getting back out in front of Drew. De Young there in 10th. Corky is in the pits and changed off the hard tyre there in P11. So Mario, de facto leader of the race, still on the hard tyre. Has gone an extra lap to what some of the other drivers done on the hard tyre. We'll see if we see Mario coming in to the pits. So Mario would have 13 minutes to do on the soft tyre. Looks like the line, looks like a pit stop line, and it is. So that's Mario coming into the pits. Mike is carrying on, so Mike doing another lap on the hard tyre. Mike will take the lead of the race. Kayla now up into second. Kayla carrying on, and there is the race de facto race leader, as well as first one that has done a pit stop on track. Catching up to the back of Kayla, who's yet to pit. Gavsky there in 4th place. So recovering well, Gavsky is from that earlier incident. Johnny there up into 5th, so Johnny moving up the position due to the pit stops. This has spread the field out a little bit, the pit stops. So we haven't got the bottleneck behind Sprinkler. Froxy Dev there in 6th, still managing to hang on to 6th place, even with the 3-second penalty that we saw earlier. But in the background we have got Sprinkler and Mario battling for position. So these two, looks like this is going to be a battle all the way to the end of the race. Sprinkler gets a little bit squirrely there. Both of these drivers now on the soft tyre. Drew there in 9th. De Young in 10th. And Corky there in 11th. Mike is still going round for another lap, as we do have Kayla coming into the pits. Just behind Kayla coming in and getting rid of the hard tyres. So Mike's still going on the hard tyres. 11 minutes left in the race. 3 drivers in the pit, so Kayla, Gavsky and Johnny have all pitted in. That's going to move some drivers up. So Froxy Dev moves up into 3rd, Sprinkler into 4th, and Mario up into 5th. Below there are the brakes there from Mike. How the weather conditions it has got a little darker. Could we potentially see some rain coming? We're not the Red Bull ring we like for rain, so could we maybe see a bit of rain? It's going to make life interesting if it does rain, especially to the people that have pitted and just come onto the soft tyres. Well, Lewis there in 2nd. but really in first once Mike pits in front. Foxy Dev in third, so that's the gap there between LBR Lewis and Foxy Dev, who is, look at Sprinkler catching up. Sprinkler on the soft tyre, Foxy Dev on the hard. Sprinkler is now on the attack. Sprinkler pushing hard, Mario pushing hard behind as well. And you can see Foxy Dev just in front of them. Mike has stayed out and done another lap, so Mike still staying in first place. Giacala in 6th position, Drew not too far behind Giacala. De Young there in 8th, Gavsky there in 9th after the pit stop, Johnny there in 10th, and Corky there in 11th. Mike still in the lead of the race. Now only has just under 9 minutes remaining. So Mike holding on to the lead of the race, but does need to pit and use that soft tyre. So it is compulsory to use the soft and the hard tyre. So we'll have to use that soft at some point, but he's doing a great job on the hard tyre. Doing 1 minute 32, 1 minute 33 consistently. LBR Lewis behind. He's doing 1 minute 32 since hitting him. And that is Mike coming into the pits. LBR Lewis will take the lead back of the race. So it looks like Mike is going to be the last one to pit off the hard tyre and onto the soft. So he's going to have some great pace on the soft tyre for the last 8 minutes of the race. So Mike's pit crew just waiting to receive Mike into his pit box. And here he is. So going to get the tyres changed on the car. Mike dropping down into 5th place as it stands at the moment. Will get out potentially in that nice little gap, as you can see there in the top right hand corner. He's going to get out the pits, gets the power down and gets out in 5th place, gets out in front of Giacala. So that's crucial to Mike's race. Crucial for Mike there to get out in front of Giacala. So it's Mario in 4th there, Sprinkler in 3rd, but they are catching Foxy Dev at a rate of knots. Foxy Dev half second penalty. So this could mean Sprinkler moving up into 2nd place. So coming around to the penalty line. That's close there between the two drivers, Sprinkler and Foxy Dev. Foxy Dev serving the penalty. But just keep noticing for Sprinkler running wide on the exit of the corner. That might be a half-second penalty there for Sprinkler. Yeah, it is a half-second penalty. Unfortunately, really had nowhere to go at the bottom there. Mario, it looks like might capitalise in on this, and Mario moving up into 3rd place. So Mario getting a tank slapper on, and that knocks Sprinkler onto the grass with a half-second penalty. Mario does the nice thing and backs off, as knows that that little tank slapper did push Sprinkler onto the grass there, but they've lost ground to Foxy Dev in front. And here comes a charging Mike after getting onto those new soft tyres. Mike could be a shout for a podium here. Giacala in 6th. Great recoveries, pretty much down in last towards the beginning of the race. Drew there in 7th. Gavsky in 8th. Pushing hard is Gavsky. Very hard is Gavsky. Managed to get past De Young, so it's moving up the positions. Unfortunate race here for Gavsky. I know this isn't his favourite track at all. Doesn't really like this track at all. So it probably, if you asked him when's your drop round going to be used, it probably would have said Red Bull Ring. So, unfortunately, he is on the fast lap, but gets a half-second penalty. So he was on the fastest lap. It's 3/10 up for the middle sector, but gets that half-second penalty. So that's going to kill this lap and kill the next lap. There from Gavsky. So this lap would have been the fastest lap. It still counts as the fastest lap of the race. That's interesting. Gavsky takes the fastest lap of the race and gets a half-second penalty whilst doing so. We will have to have a look into that. D. Young there in 9th place. Personal best sector 1 there for D. Young. Johnny there in 10th. The sun seems to be coming back out now, so I don't think we're going to get any rain as we've only got 4 minutes left of the 30-minute race. Corky there in 11th, half-second penalty for Corky. Let's go back to the lead, see what's going on. So LBR Lewis with a quite big gap now out in front. So that gap is around 14 seconds at the moment. Back to 2nd place. Second place being Froxy Dev, still managing to keep a hold of 2nd. And then you've got the charging Mario on the soft tyres. Sprinkler with a 2nd penalty. That is not going to help Sprinkler's racing. Driving so well for 20 minutes of this race. Now it just seems to be getting unfortunate penalties and incidents, knocking him back down the order. Still in 4th though, but Mike on those very young soft tyres, but Mike has a half-second penalty. Mike setting the fastest in sector 1 there, but also a half-second penalty. Kayla in 6th position. Gavsky has got up into 7th, so the charging Gavsky moving up the field and up into 7th. Does look like he'll run out of time catching up with the cars in front. If he was able to get onto the back of that group in front, if probably another 5-10 minutes of this race, you'd potentially say Gav could get a podium here with this pace. Drew in 8th, De Young in 9th, Johnny there in 10th, and Corky there in P11. So LBR is still out in front with a lovely gap. In the what's the words of Max Verstappen? Simply, simply lovely. He's been the Red Bull Ring and all. They're still managing to hold out on that hard tyre. With Mario in 3rd. Mike in 4th. Sprinkler dropping down to 5th with Gear Kayla all over the back of Sprinkler. These two are going to go side by side up into the top corner. Sprinkler braking late on the inside. And just keep hold of the position. Kayla tucking back in. Kayla will have the outside in the bottom of the hill. Kayla getting the nose in front. Sprinkler has the inside line. Kayla's just got nowhere to turn in. But Kayla going for the old switcheroo. But Sprinkler will have the inside again. Sprinkler just making sure he's got the inside line at every apex here. Defending like crazy that 5th place position. Kayla moving out. Kayla trying to grab the inside. Sprinkler sweeping around the outside and retaining the 5th place. So Mike's pulled out a little bit of a gap now in front. Mike is pushing on and threatening Mario for the podium place. For that 3rd place. Mike catching up to Mario in front. So that is the end of the race. That's the 30-minute mark. That came up very quick. The checkered flag came out instantly. So Mario finishes third. Mike in fourth. Giacala in fifth. Sprinkler in sixth. And Giacala managed to get Sprinkler. Let's see where that happened. So as they come up towards the last two corners, it was Sprinkler in front of Giacala. Giacala gets a good drive out of the S's and just looks on the inside, gets on the inside, manages to get past Sprinkler. Sprinkler then has a look onto the last corner, but it is Giacala who takes that spot on the last corner of the race as the checkered flag is flying there. Gavsky in 7th there. Drew in 8th. DeYoung in 9th. Johnny in 10th. Corky coming around and will finish the race in P11. But let's jump to the two that are racing still on track. So LBR Lewis there coming round. And into the infield. Hasn't really had to do much in this race. Had that little battle earlier on with Froxy Dev. Froxy Dev got that half spin and the damage. And then it's been in control of the race from start to finish. 2 corners left to go. And round the last corner, and that is round 2. One flash of the lights and a weave across the track there from LBR Lewis to take the round 2 win here at the Red Bull Ring. And Froxy Dev just coming round, you can see on the screen there, coming around in second place to finish off the podium positions in second. Fantastic race there from all of the drivers. Excellent quality showing there from them. Let's have a look at what that does to the tables. So we have Corky there in 14th, DeYoung 13th, Baldy in 12th, Upper Million 11th, Froxy Dev there in 10th, Fatman in 9th, and Drew in 8th position. And then Johnny Tattoo in 7th, Giacala 8th in 6th, Sprinkler 5th, Mario 4th, Mike in 3rd, Gavsky 2nd, and LBR Lewis still in the lead in the top spot. Well, thank you everyone so much for tuning in and watching. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so, and also share the video, get it out there for everyone. Comment below on there, and don't forget to vote for driver of the day for this round. That will be revealed in next week's video coming out next Saturday. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good rest of your weekend.